Hey guys, welcome to this video that is a part of the holiday reset. For this video, we are going to dive into doing some subconscious release technique, or we'll just call it SRT for short. And if you are new to my world and you've never done SRT before, I will walk you through that before we get started. But SRT is a breathing technique, and what we do is we take a look to see where there are energetic weaknesses with our thoughts, our beliefs, the sentences that are running in our head. So the ones that we're going to focus on today, I have three, depending on time, we may get into a fourth, but the holidays are stressful. Everyone depends on me, and my value comes from what I do for others. So those three for sure. And then I've got a list that if we've got time, we'll keep rolling through it. My goal with these videos is to keep them very like 20-ish minutes or less so that they're bite-sized, ingestible, and that you guys can get to them on a day-to-day basis. So again, we're muscle testing for energetic weaknesses in these sentences, and then I'm muscle testing to see which emotions are imprinted or attached to these thoughts, these statements that are running through our heads. And we use breath work to neutralize these emotions. And when we do that, we begin to shift things subconsciously. And these are almost like our emotional reactions, our emotional triggers when some of these things are running in the background. Our subconscious mind is 95% of where our thoughts live, our beliefs live. So where our actions, reactions, and inactions are taking place is from this 95% that most of the time we're not even aware of. So it's a really powerful technique. It's the very first one I got trained in, and if you have coached with me, you know that this is very much a go-to that we use a lot in coaching. So with that, let me walk you through the technique. On your end, I'm going to prompt you to take a deep breath in and hold. You're going to take that deep breath in and hold. I'm going to say a statement out loud. You just need to rethink that statement in your head. So when I say it, you think it. And then when you're done thinking it, you're just going to exhale and blow it out. So again, like this, take a deep breath in and hold, and then you'll exhale. I like to do a little bit of a force with my breath. It's a little bit audible. For me, when I'm doing that, it's just helping me like symbolize that release. Like, I am done with this. I'm ready to let it go. I want it out. So, are you guys ready to get started? And I will prompt you before each breath. So that way you're not just taking a deep breath in and holding until you're blue in the face. So I will prompt you to take that deep breath in and hold before I say the statement. I got a tickle on my nose. So the very first one that I want us to clear is just the thought that holidays are stressful. And that might feel like a true statement, but the truth is there are holidays, and holidays being stressful is just an opinion, it's a judgment, it's just can it be proved in court? I don't know. It just really depends on our perspective about the holidays. We can think many different things about the holidays. The holidays could be magical. The holidays could be joyful. The holidays could be so many different things. So this is just one that is contributing to that stress and that overwhelm. So ready? All right. So when you're ready, deep breath in and hold. I release all anxiety with holidays are stressful. Good. Deep breath in and hold. I release all cynicism with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in and hold. I release all disappointment with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in and hold. I release all envy with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all grief with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all hopelessness with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all pain with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all self-punishment with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all rigidness with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all stubbornness with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with compassion with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with faith with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with forgiveness with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with knowingness with holidays are stressful. Good. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with feeling safe with holidays are stressful. Good. And then deep breath in. I release all blocks with worthiness with holidays are stressful. Good. I want you just to take a moment here before we move on to the next one, just to check in with yourself and see if anything came up for you as we were going through that releasing statement. Did you have a memory come up? Were there certain emotions that maybe felt heavy or something came up, something else came up for you? Also, another thing is as we move through this process, we don't ever judge anything that comes up. Some things are just ready to come to the surface as we go through and release. Sometimes certain emotions arise, like maybe there are tears that come up. Don't hold those back. Let those flow. Let that process. Maybe it felt angry to let that go. What can you do to release some of that extra energy that came up? So just take a moment, check in, and then we're going to move on to the next one. So the next one we're going to do, and there's a couple more that I have that they're all a little bit similar, but they're different. And so for this one, we're going to do Everyone Depends on Me. A couple of the other ones are, it's just quicker to do it myself. If I don't do it, it won't get done right. That kind of thinking that sometimes we have when it comes to relinquishing control over what it is that we're doing or asking for help, things like that. So this feels like a little bit different than some of that. So this is just everything depends on me, like it comes down to me. So maybe you're a mom and you're taking care of the plans and cooking and the kids and the schedules and all of those things. So, and if you're not a mom, you probably have a lot that you're also juggling as well. You guys ready for this next one? Everything depends on me. All right, when you're ready, deep breath in. I release all anger with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all confusion with everything depends on me. Good. Good. Deep breath in. I release all dread with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all guilt with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all humiliation with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all pressure with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all stress with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with appreciation with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with enjoyment with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with hope with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with organization with everything depends on me. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with trust with everything depends on me. Good. Mm. Okay, so as we were going through that one, I could see how much that thought I carry in my business. So if you're a business owner and around this time of year, like maybe that's a thought that you're having that's leading to some of the stress and overwhelm that maybe you're feeling in this holiday season. I want to write this one down too because I don't think I had it written down, but just the I can't rest until everything's done, or just I can't rest. And that's kind of how this process goes with SRT. Like we dive into one thing, and often other thoughts will start to come to mind where we maybe need to clear the energy around it as well. So sometimes we start off over here and then it kind of will lead us to a different area, but they're all connected in some way. The next one I want to do is my value comes from what I do for others. I think there are so many women, especially like the women that I work with, it comes up quite frequently. This idea of like my value comes from doing and not from being, or I have to be productive in order to be valuable or worthy. And it just, or like our worth is attached to our productivity, our worth is attached to the things that we do. So I think this will be a really powerful one for us to go in and clear today. Okay. So when you're ready, deep breath in and hold. I release all anger with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all anxiety with my value comes from what I do for others. Deep breath in. I release all confusion with my value comes from what I do for others. Deep breath in. I release all disappointment with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all fear with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all judgment with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all pressure with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all shame with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all worry with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with faith with my value comes from what I do for others. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with freedom with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with knowingness with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Deep breath in. I release all blocks with organization with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. Good. And then deep breath in. I release all blocks with worthiness with my value comes from what I do for others. Good. All right, check in with yourself again. How are we doing? Hopefully a little bit lighter, maybe like a weight's been lifted. Maybe other things are coming up for you, and that's okay too. Maybe take some time after this video to journal some things out, right? What's coming up. Um, let's go ahead and do one more for today. And let's do the one that came up as we were going through that process of the I can't rest until everything is done. I can't rest until everything is done. All right, when you're ready, deep breath in. I release all annoyance with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. Deep breath in. I release all cynicism with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. Deep breath in. I release all discontent with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. Deep breath in. I release all guilt with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. And deep breath in. I release all irritation with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. And deep breath in. I release all self-punishment with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. And deep breath in. I release all shame with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. Deep breath in. I release all worry with I can't rest until everything is done. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with compassion with I can't rest until everything is done. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with gratitude with I can't rest until everything is done. And deep breath in. I release all blocks with organization with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. And then deep breath in. I release all blocks with worthiness with I can't rest until everything is done. Good. So beautiful, so magical. Just check in with yourself one last time. How are you feeling? I'd love to hear from you. What came up for you? What was your biggest release as we went through that? What was your experience? If this was your first time doing SRT, I'd love to hear what you thought of it. And if you've been around SRT and me for a while, like what landed for you in this particular video, in this release. I want to end with a positive fill up, and I didn't come up with one ahead of time. So, um, something around like choosing, I'm choosing how I show up for my holidays this year. How does that sound? I'm choosing, I'm choosing. All right. Choosing how, let me write this down. How about I'm choosing how I experience my holiday season this year? Okay. So when you're ready, that was a whole lot of shaking on the table. All right. When you're ready, deep breath in and hold. I am so happy and so thankful that I am choosing how I show up for my holiday season this year. Like give yourself a pat, like hug yourself or give yourself a pat on the back, like you did something for yourself today that is just going to, again, cause these micro shifts for you to be able to show up differently, for you to be able to handle your holiday season just a little bit differently than maybe you have in the past. And just celebrating to you today and every day, and look forward to hearing from you.